welcome everybody. Welcome to Nebraska Entertainment Monthly, aka NEAM. I am your hostess with the mostest, your girl Lejay, baby. And today, my people, today we have an amazing person here. We have actor, writer, producer, and director, Mike Cavanaugh. Yay! Hey Mike, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
It's good to be here with you. I'm well. I'm glad to see you here.
Thanks for having me.
Look, Nebraska Entertainment Monthly has been waiting to get you in, and now that we have you in our clutches, we're not letting you go. Now we're just going to jump right into the interview. I want you to go ahead and talk to our people about who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, my name is Michael Cavanaugh. You might know me from my various endeavors. I grew up here in Nebraska, and I started making short films when I was kind of like high school-ish.
Okay, come on.
And then I went to Columbia College for cinematography, to study cinematography. And then I moved to LA, and I've been working there for, I don't know, almost 20 years, I guess now.
How do you like it working throughout LA?
It's good. LA's an interesting place because it's so full of like talented, unique people who kind of like come from all over the world to like work in the industry, and a lot of dream chasing.
Is it really competitive out there?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Actually,
I would think so.
And I think that's one of the things that's been interesting about like coming back to Nebraska is. That there's a more of an appreciation of like the individual artist here as opposed to being like just one of a million people trying to do it, you know?
So what made you move out there to pursue something that is probably vastly oversaturated?
Yeah.
What made you do that?
I think going out there to like, if you want to play great tennis, you have to go and play against the best players,
Come
kind
on,
of thing.
With the jewels.
Yeah.
Yo, because I swear, I think most people get nervous when they think about competition, and they would want to move somewhere where there's like less of what they do to try to get more. I find that, especially in Nebraska, sometimes that's the mind frame.
Yeah.
Do you find that to be the mind frame of people out there, or do you feel it to be more open?
There it is not, like it's like if you want to do anything, you have to start like so low on it. Like when I was starting, now there's like different avenues for you to like, break into the industry, like through like being like a YouTube celebrity or something like that, or like there's just so many different avenues to like get your own materials out there and like kind of build your reputation. And you can still be like the journeyman and do all the jobs and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know, there's just different ways to go about it.
Now, I know that when I already told y'all a little bit about him, and then I asked him to tell you about him, but being as you are a writer, a producer, actor, like what are some things in that whole slew of profession that you never thought you would do?
Oh, I mean, on the last feature that I shot, which I shot in town here, which is screening next week. I know some of you, this is going to be seen in the future, but I ended up doing all of the special effects makeup on that.
Really?
Yeah. So like.
Did you ever think that you would?
No, and up to the day of like doing it, I didn't think that was gonna, like I was actively trying to find somebody to do it. Which is kind of one of the problems with like making movies here in Nebraska as opposed to in California, where there's just like tons of like every job, like there's somebody doing every job.
Yeah.
So I had a really terrible time finding that, so I ended up having to take that responsibility on my own, and I learned how to make like old man makeup and just like doing like all these, and it really did kind of open my eyes to like doing special effects makeup and all that kind of stuff was it. I really dragged my feet on it, but once I kind of got into it, I was like, oh, this is actually like kind of enjoyable, and does like open up a different avenue of all of that stuff, and then I mean, really you have to do everything. So I ended up doing like a lot of like CGI touch-ups.
Oh, wow.
Which I also like had to do like a deep dive into YouTube to like all the tutorials on how to use like this like a couple of different programs, which was another thing that it was just
That's
like
crazy.
you know, like you just end up getting like you want to make something good, right?
Right.
And so you just end up like getting your back up against the wall, and you're just like, well, now I have to like learn. I have to
all
learn
these new traits,
all
these new skills.
Yeah, all these like these jobs of like people are getting paid like like professional, like
Yeah.
professional quality jobs is what you want to do it. So
Right.
you have to really like get yourself steeped in it for,
Yeah.
to do it like so it's presentable.
Right. YouTube school and Google school is
Oh.
not for the faint of heart.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
You have to really be invested.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of YouTube.
I know.
Like
Look, come
that's my
on.
like that's
Yes.
that's my school. That's my
So-
grad school.
Seeing, being as that you've probably acquired a lot of hats
Mm-hmm.
on your time, professionally. Like, what is your favorite thing to do? That was one you've never done before. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it came out great. We're probably going to see it soon.
It is really good actually. I'm
Look,
very-
toot your
I'm
own horn.
pleased,
Come
yeah.
on.
I mean, it's good. I like, I think the best compliment that I've gotten on it is no compliments on it because, like, when it screens, nobody even mentioned to me like, oh, that guy was wearing makeup, or like, I really like the
Nice.
makeup. It was just like, just kind of,
Look,
flew
that's
under the
nice.
radar. So it was like, I think I did an acceptable job
Yes.
on that. But my favorite job in total is directing. Like I like the whole, I like getting the whole project.
Right. Getting behind the camera, having your hands dug in deep.
Yeah.
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 That's a great role to be in. Now, talk to us about, because I heard something about Irish Film Festival. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so I did a little research, but I know they don't have any research.
Yeah.
You didn't do any research, did you?
They
Did you?
didn't,
No,
no.
I don't think so. Anyways, so talk to us about exactly what that is.
So the Irish Film Festival is being put on by the Irish Cultural Center here in town, and it's 2 nights in March. That'll be we have one feature. It's an offshoot of the Chicago Irish Film Festival. So this is the first year of it. So we're having 2 nights. One night is a feature film from Ireland, Irish cast, Irish director, and the second night is a bunch of short films, all Irish, all made in Ireland and brought here. And then, of course, my own film, The No Going Back, will be also screening at that later that night.
Oh, awesome. Look,
so-
I'm excited.
A little,
Are you
riding the
excited?
coach. I'm always excited. Yeah. I mean, I'm a big. I've become a big proponent of publicly screening your work. Like that's
Nice.
I think that's like on top of like making it, like you have to screen
Yeah.
and you have to watch it with people.
Yeah.
Like you have to.
No matter how nervous you get.
And being nervous is part of it. Like if you're not nervous, then that's kind of weird, I think.
Yeah, I would think so.
Also, like I don't know how you could not be nervous, really, if you, if you put any kind of effort or
and
like a little piece
passion.
of yourself into,
Yeah. Yep.
you're gonna be nervous for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, if you're an aspiring film person, you have to screen your work in front of people.
Yes.
You can't just put it online. That doesn't.
It doesn't.
That's not
It's
good
not enough.
That's
No.
not enough.
For my people out there, I need you to make sure you put this in your calendars. Now, I believe it is March 6th, March 7th,
7th and 8th.
at 6 p.m. and March 8th at 9 p.m. down at the Benson Theater. If you don't know where the Benson Theater is at, I need you to go down to, or Google is your friend, to 6054 Maple Street in Omaha, Nebraska. You don't want to miss it. Now, what sparked this passion for Irish film? Like, that's not something I would have correlated for Omaha, Nebraska. So how did that all start?
I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I was just brought on board with it, so I didn't.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
didn't invent the festival.
So you were just thrown in.
I'm just part of it, and
Gotcha.
helping like promote the idea of it. And it's like bridging us between Omaha and Ireland, and just two creative, environments that are coming together to celebrate each other and screen each other's work and that kind of
Now,
stuff.
being that it wasn't you that, founded it, like, what are some of the challenges that you've noticed when it comes to, like, really correlating it and getting it together? Because this is the first time we're screening it in Nebraska.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so what kind of challenges have you noticed that there were with working to bring it here to Nebraska? Because Nebraska's not the easiest place for, like, film and...
Well, screening is really just.
That's different.
You just have,
you just have to put it up there.
Just putting it up and saying, "Come watch this. Come watch this."
Yes.
It's not been too hard. I mean, you just kind of putting on a show,
Okay.
Just,
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Put your top hat on and say, "Come on."
Yeah.
Let's go out to the movie.
Hey, the WP frog kicking your legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, okay. Well, in the same aspect, have there been any films that you particularly have acted in that could actually go up on screen for this?
Oh, no. I mean, my own movie is kind of like, doesn't technically qualify. I mean, I'm of Irish descent, but I am not from Ireland.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of,
Miss it by just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But all of the work that we're screening in this is specifically produced from Ireland, and it is Irish filmmakers and
Gotcha.
all that.
So, being that you are, not in front of the camera for this,
yeah.
Are there any collaborations that you've, if any people that you've seen that you would like to work with, that you like dream collaborations working with on this or otherwise?
Oh yeah, there's like the lineup that we have. The movies all the shorts are excellent, and it's like it makes me excited to be screening these filmmakers' works, and with the possibility of like working with them in the future, because it is like there are some there's excellent performances, there's a lot of great like direction. I wouldn't mind like working with the actors or just working with any of these filmmakers in the future. They're all very talented bunch, and so like that's I think that's just an exciting offshoot of screening people's work too, is you celebrate other people, and you're excited for them to show their work and for them to make works in the future.
Exactly.
Just based on like what the excitement that's generated around people seeing their stuff, and but yeah, there's I would happily be taken on board any of these projects. I always love to if anybody's shooting something, I like to participate. I like to make things.
I know that's right.
That's
true creative.
Yeah, that's it. That's
so,
the juice.
Being that you have acted, because I know that I personally know a lot of people who would love to get their acting on.
Mm-hmm.
But is there any advice that you would give to people in Nebraska looking to get into acting, into film? Is there any advice that you could give them? Because everybody wants to live this glamorous life. Everybody wants to be top tier. Everybody thinks that I just have to get in the camera and look good and portray or act well. What advice do you have for them?
I mean, a couple things. It's not very glamorous. Sometimes it is, like when you are working a job, like one of my favorite parts of it is getting my makeup done.
I know, that's right, come on.
But aside from that portion of it, the brief pampering that you get, you have to be kind of, you can't think about looking good. Like it's not,
I would agree.
For the most part, like unless you're playing somebody who is supposed to look good, you should probably just get rid of your vanity. Because in my opinion, like good acting is like, it's about being vulnerable, and being vulnerable is not really, it is cool, but it's not cool, And
it's not easy.
And it's not easy to do that.
Because people don't want to be vulnerable in their own lives with their own family members.
Yeah, so you have to kind of put your, you have to put that kind of away.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to make yourself available to look ugly, to be unappealing, because in order for like an arc of a character or something like that, they have to be down, you know, and you
Yeah.
have to be able to display being down to go up.
Yeah.
Like there's like if you just start up and you win every situation,
You have nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go, and there's nothing to root for. There's
Right.
nothing to really want. So you have to you have to make yourself available to looking bad.
Yeah.
And that's like if you just want to be the star or whatever.
It takes so much more.
I mean,
It
good
takes
luck.
so much more.
You could be like, there's definitely like pretty faces, but there's a lot of pretty faces out there that are
Exactly.
like, you know, that are probably a little more duplicitous than you are, and you gotta get those roles.
They're gonna need a whole lot more from you.
Yeah.
Now, speaking on acting, like, what was your favorite acting experience? I'm interested to know that.
I mean, there's a lot of what was it? You know, I've done like a few like stage shows that have been
Oh, nice.
the best, because that's a little bit different. Like acting for the camera is a little bit different than like doing like stage performance. Because
Yeah.
when you stage, you're running it and the energy's there and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff it's just a little bit different. And acting in front of an audience is much different than acting in front of like
Yeah, I
a
would think
silent
so.
crew in a soundproof booth.
Right.
So like that, like getting that feedback all the time, like feeling like, you know, the audience's reaction to something
the laughs,
that you're doing.
the cheering,
yeah.
even the boos.
Yeah, and like,
Yeah.
or I always think it's good if you can get an audible like, aw. You
Oh,
know?
see?
Yeah.
And that's not easy to get.
That's not easy.
That's
to
not
get.
an easy one.
It's not. No.
People
So-
think it's the laughs. I think
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
the heart-touching
Yeah, exactly.
moments that'll
Yeah.
be the hardest to get.
That's yeah.
And that's where that vulnerability comes in. You have to be willing to go there.
Yeah, you really do that. Yeah. So, I think that to me that's where it's at, is, you know, I think getting laughs is a little easy, but
Yeah,
it's,
it depends.
It's a good way to like kind of gauge like how you're like the audience being on board with you.
Yeah.
But you know, if you can take them to laughter, then you should try to be able to take them to other places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Like, you seem very well-rounded and a lot that you have going on, which is not easy to be. So who were your like big influences that influenced you to do a lot of things that you're doing?
I mean, my brother was making was making films when I was really young.
Okay.
And so like him and his buddies were always like making films, and that I always like, so it was always kind of like around.
Yeah.
Just like idea of like being able to pick up the camera and just like kind of start making your own things.
That's nice.
Yeah. So like there was that, and then, you know, when I was in high school, and we would make our own things, but you know, it's just kind of always been like an idea of mine is like,
Gotcha.
I don't know, it's just always been something I was just like, oh, I'm gonna make movies, and that was.
It's always been an inspiration.
Yeah,
of
it's
yours,
just been
like,
always kind of like, I don't even know that I ever even had like a different like idea of who I was, like what I was even gonna do.
Huh.
It's like,
You just going with the flow.
I mean, yeah,
It just all flowed.
Yeah, it was just that. It was just kind of like that was always just kind of what I was doing. So it was just what I've been doing.
That's
and
nice.
And I think like my just the way that I think I interpret things is very like about cinema, and I love movies so much.
Yeah.
Like watching them, and
Right.
and just the I think I know like the language comes to me pretty easily.
I would think so, with it being around you all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like you said, you just went in full throttle on
Yeah.
the makeup thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, no,
you had to-
I dragged my feet on it for a little while before.
well, I mean,
but
you still
then
had to go. You
yeah,
still had to
I
like
did.
really dive in because there
Yeah.
was no one else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you really kind of had to like dive head first.
Yeah.
Even if you did drag your feet, you still have to dive head first because
Yeah.
you have to. You're looking up YouTubes and Google and
Right.
trying to find different ways to do things. You know
and
what I
hanging
mean?
out at Mangelson's, they have a great makeup department there.
Yes,
Halloween makeup
asking
department.
questions.
Yeah, yeah. There's they're the guys that work there were really knowledgeable about like that kind of.
Was that here in Nebraska?
Yeah, it was the.
Shouts out to Mangelsons in Omaha, Nebraska. We love you. You went ahead and helped out the Michael Cavanaugh to get some things done. So shout out to you.
Yeah, and they have a great like selection of like latex and various other like effects, makeups, and great crew there. But I did spend a lot of time in Mangelsons.
Look, I'm not even mad at that.
Just skulking around Mangelsons aisles.
I mean, but it's honestly, especially letting people know exactly, what something like that, like you would think that you would, like that's just like somebody who does, I'm having a brain fart, but clothing. They, do the clothing, they do certain things, like spending a lot of time in places like those would really help your job out to know, what kind of pieces you should be looking for, during this time period, that time period, knowing what you need to look for because you're doing this type of movie versus that type of movie. Spending that time to really just go in and know the materials you're working with is a very important part of the job. So I'm glad you pointed that out because some people like to skip that.
Yeah. Well, you can't, there's, also Ibsen Costumes is where we got most of our costumes from.
Okay, come on, shameless plug.
But they, you have to know, you can't skimp on the details because, when you're, the camera doesn't lie, when you're watching something and you're just like, this is like,
a little off.
This is
could have been done better.
Yeah, but also you have to, it's something that with Noah going back, my feature, my vampire love story. Screening.
Hold on. Let's not act like you didn't just say that.
Screening on March 8th at the Benson Theater.
Nice.
Part of the aesthetic is that you can kind of see the seams of things and a little bit of that, and you that was one of the ideas is that we had to acknowledge that that we did have limitations, and not like having that be part of the aesthetic of the movie is that's an important thing to acknowledge your limitations and let them inform the work as well as your ambition of what the story you're trying to tell is.
Yeah.
If you're making something and you don't have all the resources in the world, if you can incorporate that into the story, that'll make it. I think that makes it richer, as opposed to being don't look at this, just look at this. It's just no, it's a whole. That's a whole thing.
I like that. That gave me some insight. I'm gonna need y'all to check Mr. Cavanaugh out. He's handing out jewels to put in your crown and wear around. So I'm gonna need y'all to check him out. Now, is there anything that we should be looking out for besides March 7th and 8th down at the Benson Theater?
I don't have anything necessarily coming up. I'm working on getting another project together here that I'd like to do in Nebraska.
Sneak peek, something, anything?
I have nothing official. I'm reading a lot of books right now and just kind of getting my mind together about what it is. But I have kind of an idea about, just doing something that's that takes place here and has to do with family and businesses and things like that, and high drama,
Okay, come on, drama. Y'all know I like a little drama. Y'all know I live for the drama. So we gonna check Mr. Michael Cavanaugh out and everything he has going on. Now, is there any place that you want people to look for some of your material? What do you want to tell the people who are watching this who might want to work with you?
You can always find me on Instagram. I'm not really prolific on any of those things necessarily. I'm mostly just kind of making the work right now and just trying to get it screened as much as possible. So I'm sorry to say there's no there's no way that you can I'm not publishing anything out right now. But you could find me on Instagram. Mike Bill Cav, I believe, is my Instagram handle.
Go ahead and spell it out. Some people they
MIKE dash, I think it's a lower dash, BILL lower dash CAV.
Yes, people. Now y'all gonna want to get out. And if you don't have a chance to see this before it comes out and we do the March 7th and 8th, I'm gonna need you guys to be checking up on YouTube. I'm gonna need you guys to go follow. I'm gonna need you to check him up on Instagram so you can see exactly what's going on with the Irish Film Festival here in Nebraska and Mr. Mike Cavanaugh, you feel me? So you guys be looking out for all that. I am so ecstatic that we got to get you on today. Like, you were like the perfect person to interview. I had a blast. And I got some information.
Yeah.
Look, I'm trying to be on the back end of things.
Okay.
My thing ain't in front of the camera. That's only here.
Only here.
With Nebraska Entertainment Monthly. But being on the other end, I really appreciated the information that you gave.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
The insight. We really appreciated having you on. And for everybody, make sure you get out to the Benson Theater, March 7th and 8th. If you don't get a chance to check it out, be sure to check it out on other platforms because it will be out there. So we want to say thank you for coming to NEAM, Nebraska Entertainment Monthly, and we hope to have you back sometime.
Yeah, I'd love to come back. This is a real joy here.
Look, come on. It says it's testament to me.
Yeah.
No. Thank you guys for tuning in to NEAM, Nebraska Entertainment Monthly, and we'll see you soon. Yay.
Yay.
It was good. I didn't sweat this time.